Ladies and gentlemen,
We are
what's
here.
up?
You know, I think let's get a vote below. Should we change our theme song from the In the Bag trumpet theme song to Peanut Butter Jelly Time?
It's peanut butter jelly time, people.
Yeah, I mean that would get me hyped every time.
Well,
Yeah, that could be the most annoying or the best thing to ever happen to this podcast. Let us know below
Dude.
if you think we should do that.
I think it's really hard to have any form of a theme song or like intro music that doesn't end up just grating someone before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Like it's all or nothing.
Yeah,
I remember when we used to have a lot more of the words to that song in Foundation's intro, and I remember it being a joke even amongst the Foundation guys of they would like be filming a video and one of them would just scream, "It's all or nothing,"
Yeah,
like
right.
because we knew. And I do the same thing with "Catch Me If I Fall."
yeah,
So yeah, intro songs are, and I've had a couple different intros
Yeah.
on my channel over time.
I remember the long hair Robbie one. That was the classic.
Oh
Classic.
yeah. Oh yeah. Doom doom doo doo doom.
Yeah, that's in my mind. That's Robbie in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a good week. It's been interesting. It's funny when I was thinking about this morning because I heard someone make like a joke about, oh, you know, boss is gone. Everybody has an easy work week. I feel like I get more busy when that happens because I'm just kind of trying to like grind through some projects, and all that means is like some of our regularly scheduled meeting. I feel like I get a couple hours back that week, so I feel like I really need to like utilize it. And you know, right now, for the last, I mean, I've spent a couple hours on it at this point, but I'm doing some price comparisons across other brands, seeing kind of like where we sit as a company. Can we improve pricing? Are we too low? Are we too high? What's it look like if we do this? What's the cost to price, margin model if we do that? So I'm kind of nerding out about that behind the scenes. That's the stuff I do for fun. But yeah, I feel like that project has kind of replaced a couple of meetings and phone calls and stuff I normally have. So it's like I'm busy, but I'm also getting like those two like second tier items done that aren't like top priority. Maybe they're like kind of like that next tier down. So it's kind of fun. Go ahead.
I love weeks like that. I love
Yeah.
weeks where it's like I've wanted to do this. I've needed to find the time but I can't drop the ball on doing other stuff that I once
Right.
again have to do every week. And so always a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, I asked you off air, and then I was like, well, I'll just talk to you about it when we start recording. But you watched the pizza video. That's the video I was teasing like last week or the week before. So what do you think, Robbie? I mean, first of all, being a
Guys,
pizza guy.
I eat pizza every Tuesday, and let me tell you, that made me especially the ending made no. If you watch that, if you watch the beginning of the video, you probably if you ordered dinner before you finished, you probably ordered pizza. Because for the first few holes, it was looking good. You guys were chilling. And then I think at one point, I feel like it's like hole 3, Trevor double stacks.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's efficient, but oof, not a great way to eat pizza. And then
Yeah.
when you get to the final hole and one of the teams has to make a push, that's when I'm just like, you can tell no one wants to be eating pizza at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Right. Yeah. It was I think a couple things from that video. Number one, I'm not I'm not an eat before I do physical activity type of person, or while I'm doing physical activity, nor am I like drinking liquids. Like even jujitsu, I don't drink water until I'm done because I don't know. I just don't like the feeling of it, basically. So I that was really hard for me because A, I had to eat the whole time basically. B, I had to drink a bunch of water because I was like getting dehydrated from like I had a bunch of excess salt going in my body too and sugar. So, well, and I kept looking at my shirt. I feel like the shirt that I was wearing really showcased how hot it was because it was just like liquid. Like my shirt wasn't cotton; it was liquid. Because it was like 90 something and like the humidity was high that day. And once we got out into like Old Hole 6, it was like the sun was just beaming down on us. It was hot. We're all like carb loading, and it was interesting. And then yeah, I guess not spoiler, but the very last hole, it was pouring down the rain on us, like the most rain I've ever played in. It was the camera did not do it justice how much it was raining.
I was paying attention less to the raindrops falling and just how on the hole before all of you were dry, and then you start looking at the shots and everyone's shirt colors drastically change. Like
they're all way darker.
Connor goes from like you can see because his showed the like wetness overall, but I think it was the first time Trevor threw that his shirt just went from like matte because he was wearing like a white shirt to just shiny.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
Oh, it was so like I had like water inside of my bag. Like it was so wet that it went through and just sat in it. Like it was, I didn't have it zipped, but you know how it is. So yeah, it was wild. So secondary item is I did not realize. So full disclosure, like the foot fault dilemma on the first hole, that's not spoiling anything. It was a foot fault for sure. I didn't realize, and I watched it throughout the video, like in my mental like throw, I think that my foot is like slightly to the right, but on a piece of paper to the right of the disc. And I think I'm just like so freaked out about stepping on the disc and slipping that I'm planting way right every time. I didn't realize that, to be honest with you, until watching the video. But it also makes me wonder, is it just because I don't want to step on the disc and like subconsciously I'm like moving like to the right before I throw? And that's just like, I play casual, like 99.9% of the time I'm playing casual disc golf, and it doesn't really matter. And I've like tournaments were in my early days. And I'm like, well, hey, if I want to play tournaments, I got to really watch out for that. But B, I'm like, am I doing that on the tee, or is it just like a psychological thing, not wanting to step on a disc? Like on the tee, meaning, do I think I'm planting here and I'm planting like 6 inches to the right? And is that where I'm like, think I'm grip locking? I'm actually just opening up my body a little bit more than I'm intending to. So actually made me think a little bit like I need to like be aware of that a little bit more, especially if I want to improve.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just pulled up your tee shot on one, and it is definitely, you're definitely more open for sure.
And I think, because I made a couple of my good shots. I'm keeping my arm down a little bit more when I'm pulling through, but there was a couple. It's probably when I was getting tired or it was wet, vice versa. But I went back to the old ways as well. So anyway, but I don't know. It's just good, and I think it's okay to be like a little critical of myself and be like, hey, I can improve on that. And I don't get to watch myself play like ever. So like that was like an opportunity. I do want to say one thing, and my feelings are fine, but I want to say this about the overarching internet. Okay. Number one, I love it. Number one, if you listen to this podcast and you've ever received the notion that I think I'm good at disc golf, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I've ever said that, and I don't ever think that. Nor do I think I'm average or below that, to be honest with you. I'm like a middle 800 rated player that can throw like a little over 300 feet. So I'm probably pretty average. I have fun when I play. So if I ever misled anybody or anyone thought I claimed to be better than that, I am very sorry, but that is not true. Number two, I was having a pretty bad day yesterday and the day before yesterday, and I read a particular comment by a particular person that was like, wow, Brad's pretty terrible. And it's fine. Like, I play disc golf. I'm subjecting myself to the world on that. And like, thankfully I have like a good mental state and like a good support system and like pretty confident in myself overall. But if I didn't, like, how would that have affected me? That probably would have made me feel pretty bad when I was already having pretty terrible 2 days. So, and you claim to be a fan of this podcast. So if you're listening to this, like, all love, no hate, like, I'm not mad at you, but I just want to say, before you go out on the internet and just like insult people, maybe like take a step back and say, hey, I don't know this person. I don't even really know what they're going through. So maybe I shouldn't just like randomly insult them. Like, you can think that, like, I am terrible at disc golf a lot of the time. But like, and that's just not even me. Like, you're commenting on like Facebook, Instagram, social media, YouTube, whatever. Like, you don't know what that person's life is like. You don't know what they're going through. So if you think that, that's fine, great. Keep it to yourself. And if you are actually a fan of this podcast and listening to this, I am a little disappointed in you because I feel like we're all here having fun together and are kind to each other and love a little like fun poking. But I think just as a rule in life, if that is your like mode of operation, maybe change that, because that's a pretty crappy way to live. And you're really going to end up hurting people and not ever realizing it. There are consequences to your actions. So that's my PSA. If you don't like that and you are listening to this podcast, I'm really sorry. I don't think you are part of the community anyway.
Yeah, dude. It's I tell people all the time. It goes not only in the not when you throw out a comment, you never know what the person's coming across. You never know. Like I said, like lives. We use that phrase off air quite often, and when life is lifing and you are having an off day, and then all of a sudden you go to the internet and it's really hard to not let a comment or something of that nature just resonate. Even if there are a lot of positive comments, even if there are a lot of them, just human nature in itself, those negatives really shout quite loud.
Yeah.
And so I always encourage folks, not only should we think about like, maybe we just don't post that. Like because one thing that I always think is funny is when people drop like a really negative comment about like, oh, this person's trash or they're terrible or whatever it is. Especially I chuckle when people do it on my channel, because I don't think that like YouTube's not looking and reading the content of the post. Mm-hmm. They're saying, oh, you enjoyed this content so much that you chose to interact. Awesome. So then I just get recommended to you more if you post something like that. So funny. That's always a twist that's funny to me, but also because lives and you don't know what your people are going through. Never hesitate to send a positive comment. Never hesitate to send,
or just don't say anything. Like, you can think that and again, I just wonder how, again, Robbie can justify, or Robbie can back me on this. I'm the first person to critique myself and say I was awful or play. I don't live in a fantasy world. I played pretty good in that video. We took as many of my shots as anybody's. And I just wonder how much of that video he even watched past the first hole or the second hole. So I don't know. It's okay. Like, it's okay if you think that. You can think I'm terrible at disc golf. A lot of the time I am. That's fine. The overall message here is just be cautious with what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just be kind to people, or don't, I mean, I tell my kids this, and you don't know what people are going through, and just be kind to people. And if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Who's heard that 1,000 times in their life? It's true. It's especially true now when you're not just saying it to someone's like in person, you're saying it through screens, and you never have to see or meet that person ever. So anyway, that's not in the bag. That's in my heart. That's the section of this podcast at the beginning. In my heart. Now on to in the bag.
Bang. So we got Steven starting us off. We got some questions, and Steven says, hey, love all the content between Robbie C and Foundation. Huge fan. I have an Axiom Insanity in plasma plastic, 172 grams. Why does it fly more stable than my 173 gram Gateway blade? Not sure if the plastic is what it is, but it feels kind of like he's saying on his blade feels like Champion plastic. It's diamond plastic. Similar plastics in weight, but I don't even have to see this. I know that if it's premium, it's diamond. That's one of the biggest hangs up is they have diamond and NXT. I don't know that they have any other premium plastic. I think diamond is just this all encompassing.
There's like hyper diamond, and there's versions of it. Right, is the point.
So similar plastics in weight, but I thought the Insanity was flippy straight and the blade would be a meat hook or at least dump left. But the Insanity fought out of flex lines pretty quick while the blade held the turn a bit more before panning and then landing flat. Love you both.
Well, Steven, thank you. Can I take this one? Or
can fire away.
Or at least let me input on this one really quick?
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way I feel about like the Mamba in the Roadrunner is how I feel about the Insanity. Like, because I think the Insanity is intended, number one, Steven, a couple things. Proton plastic is always, or plasma plastic I don't know, plasma's not always the most overstable in my experience. Proton usually is. But plasma's pretty close. But the Insanity just is kind of not that understable. At least for like, I don't know how far you throw, Steven. I'm going to assume you probably throw like similar to me. It's not flippy. Like if you throw it hard on Annie, you can get it to turn, but it's going to fight back, kind of like what you're saying. It's like, I don't know. I've not thrown an Insanity, maybe a Fission one time, but it was kind of flippy. But in like the more premium plastics like that, in my experience, not flippy. And I think what you're experiencing on the Gateway blade is, I love this about Gateway, so this is not like, I'm not disparaging them, but this is just like honesty. Dave and the guys over at Gateway are mad scientists in the best way, and they're hand mixing all of their stuff all the time, and they're always like trying to improve their plastics or make them a little differently. And what you're probably feeling is a little bit of that on the blade, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you bought it used or new. I mean, if it's used, it might have a little bit of that, but I think you're probably just seeing a little bit of that, like, I guess the flight number's not matching the plastic per se. I don't see that I was going to say I don't see that a lot with Gateway. I think you have to kind of assume your own flight numbers with Gateway a little bit. Like, it'll give you directionally correct, but I think you're feeling like the plastic mix. You might have like a test run they've done. They do a lot of different runs of plastic just to try to find new and cool stuff to do. So that's my instant take, Robbie. What do you think?
Yeah, so I was trying to find the video because I can't remember if it was before or after James Conrad won Worlds. Through the holy shot, all of that. But there was, for those who don't know, because you're newer to the sport, James Conrad throws for MVP. The most famous thing that James Conrad has done is throw the holy shot. He's down some strokes to Paul Macbeth going into the final hole, and he throws in from 250 feet at a insane turnover angle onto a essentially island green.
Yeah.
Paul, all he had to basically, if James doesn't throw that in, Paul had to get up and down from like 300 feet.
Yeah.
Easy. Now, granted, did we watch Paige Pierce mess up that same upshot earlier? Yes, but build different. So James does this. But before that, he was with Innova. He had long hair KC Pro AVRs that had like his hair running around the side of them. He was a Wraith lover through and through. James Conrad was Innova. So then he goes to MVP and he shoots a piece of content with someone, and I can't remember what channel it's on. And like I said, I don't remember if he shot this content before he won Worlds or after he won Worlds. But he's on a channel with, it's like a Gatekeeper, Go Throw, or Jomez. It's one of those three, I believe. And so he's there and he goes to throw a shot, and they're like, oh, he says, I'm going to put down a roller. This is my roller disc. And he pulls out an Insanity. And MVP still had not reached its height of what it is today. It was much more of a niche product.
Right.
And that's what makes me want to say that it was pre-Worlds win.
Yeah.
because after that you couldn't find envies after that Worlds win. You could not find a stock envy for less than $25.
Right. It was crazy.
It was like, what a wild time we lived in, Brad. Like, right? Like, can you imagine today
Yep.
when people threw the sake bomb general and it was $32, everyone lost their minds, but you couldn't buy a stock envy for less than 20. Like, bro,
I remember. I remember.
So he pulls out the Insanity, says this is a roller disc. And I think that moment locked in this piece to the disc golf community that the Insanity is a super flippy disc. And whether you realize it had that impact or not, I go back to that singular video. So all that to come around and give a little history lesson and say that, no, I do not think the Insanity is that flippy. Also, if you have the Halloween glow Insanities, those are, yours is plasma, but if you find those, they are not at all. They are basically T-birds.
Yeah.
They're overstable for sure. But yeah, and then the blade is really good. I know a lot of people who really lean into and love the blade for a multitude of reasons. So I can see that. So I'm sorry that I don't think it's a you thing. I do think that it's a disc thing. I think you have landed on a company that has some fluidity with Gateway, and I think you landed on a mold that is just not advertised correctly.
Right. And
because even the flight numbers of the Insanity are not actually that understable.
No.
It's just the perception that it's supposed to be that flippy. And once again, I blame Disc Golf Jesus for that in James Conrad.
Yeah.
Because it was that moment that he said that, and I fell into the trap as well. And then I threw in Insanity and was like, am I crazy? Like, is this supposed to be standing up more than it is?
Yeah. Yeah, its flight numbers are 9.5 negative to 1.5. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like a almost perfectly neutral disc.
Yeah, right. And so, yeah, I don't know. I haven't thrown a lot of like plasma. I threw a plasma envy for a while, and it was like really straight. It wasn't like super overstable, but yeah. And I think I kind of feel the same way about the virus too. If I'm being honest, I don't feel like the virus is that flippy, and it's a negative 3.51. I think those 9 speeds are really tricky, as far as like trying to find something like understable. Depends on the, like if you get something like fission, like a fission Insanity. Do they make a fission Insanity? Yeah, they do. That might be a little flippier. I would just try to find something lightweight in like maybe fission if you can, Steven. If you like really like the Insanity and like how it feels. I don't even know where I would go to give him a recommendation for a flippy 9-speed in MVP land, but I would say like
I just wouldn't go to MVP land.
What's the rhythm? Is the rhythm 7-speed?
Rhythm 7-speed.
Still not super flippy. It's like cicada.
Yeah, if you get a fission rhythm, I would put it on the flippier side. But yeah, my problem, it's the same problem that we have with gyro all the time. Is when you get to faster gyro, you have to hit it well, or else it's just stable.
Correct. Yes.
Like a Tesla, for instance, is a great flyer for people that can get it up to speed. I would, in fact, it's very similar to a trail. You can get it up to speed, and it's going to do crazy cool things. But like, if people aren't getting trails up to speed, that's why they're getting these crazy flex lines out of them. It's because they're having the natural turn that it wants, but that overstability is just smashing.
Yeah.
At the end.
Right.
So, Jesse asks in episode 153. Oh, this was a fun one.
Okay.
Shout out to you, Jesse. I put this question in here so that we got what I think you're hoping for, which is congratulations, you throw very far. So you can clip that if you want.
Yeah.
But if you're actually asking for help, we may not be the people to answer this. But we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this, Brad? Episode 153, you discussed a 10 disc bag for an Ultimate player. I was wondering if you two could discuss an 8 to 10 disc bag for someone who throws 500 feet backhand and 350 foot forehand. Dang. You guys rock.
Dang. Well, you rock, Jesse. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, it's not I didn't want to come across as like Jesse, you're the worst. It is
Yeah,
We both
congratulations.
acknowledge that we
Yeah.
don't throw that far.
For sure.
But you know what? I'm going to take a stab at this real fast because I thought about this when I was putting it down, and I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Here's what you're going to need: 10 disc bag, 10 disc bag maximum. You're going to want to find 3 destroyers.
Yeah.
Grab an overstable destroyer, a neutral destroyer, and a flippy destroyer. Congratulations, all of your distance drivers. Check.
Yep.
If you don't want the like understable one, you can go with a wraith. You can go with emperors. Like there's a billion different options out there. And onyx is where we're going to go next.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm going onyx because it is by far. Paul will tell you it is the farthest flying disc in his bag. Great control driver. When you don't want to throw your distance driver, go with an onyx.
Yeah.
We're going to walk down. I'm going to give you an eagle. Just a singular champion eagle.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to use it in a multitude of ways. And we're at 5 there. And then let's step down to the mid ranges. We're going to give you a hex.
For super flippy for you.
Yeah, and I don't even know if because Simon throws the hex, right?
That's true.
And
That's true.
It's not. I would put it in the. We're going to give you a hex and we're going to give you a balance
Okay.
because they just sit on opposite sides of neutrality. And here we go. So now we're at 7. We're going to give you a zone.
Okay. I was gonna say, what a justice does a justice fit this bag?
It could. I guess in my mind, I'm looking at an 8 to 10 disc bag. We're not talking extremes,
Right. Yeah. Zone will probably be fine.
And someone's going to be like, oh, well, what about like a 9-speed overstable, like a Raptor or something like that? Just use the destroyer.
Yeah, destroyer.
It's fine.
We're minimalizing. We're minimalizing.
Yeah. We're not trying to build this man a tournament bag. We're going 8 to 10 discs that
Yeah.
I think if you had these discs, you could probably tackle every course.
Yeah.
And a zone, an envy.
Yeah. I like Eclipse Envy.
Yep. And then we pub with PA3s. And there's your bag.
Okay.
Brad, you got any thoughts?
I don't even know if I'm allowed to speak to that, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised you didn't go Raider, I guess. But maybe Destroyer's a little easier to find, especially like the variation of like flippy neutral over stable. So
I
no.
think that the Destroyer is the disc that if most people went open bag,
They would just bag, yeah.
they're going to the Destroyer. So that's why I just lean on like...
Yeah. And like you said, it's great for forehand as well. So there's a lot they can do with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to concede to your opinions as my opinions.
Yeah,
on that
you
one.
could... I mean, you could grab Halo Destroyers.
True.
Now you're cooking.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. I think that is a great answer. Jesse, congratulations. I have a lot of questions for you, like positive ones, like how do I...
Yeah. How do we throw as far
yeah,
as you, Jesse?
How do you throw that far?
Yeah, when are you coming on the podcast letting us know?
Yeah. Someone did in the comments a couple episodes ago ask for a throwback episode, meaning like we invite someone, look through their bag, and then give them a recommendation. So if y'all want to see one of those, we're not doing them all the time, but we can throw one in every once in a while. I know we said we would do that, but
Yeah. Okay, this one will need you a lot more, Brett, because this is asking both of us a very specific question. If you were doing a 1-disc only round at an 18-hole course with a wide variety of shots, long, short, technical, forehand, backhand, and could attempt 4 times with a putter, mid, fairway, and driver, what discs would you choose while trying to score the best?
oh, that's a really good question. So it's saying like we can choose one putter to do the whole thing, one mid, one fairway, one driver. So we're going to have 4 attempts. We're going to pick one mold for each of those, like speeds, and then which one do we think we're going to score the best?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
And if you want, we can go, like, we can kind of walk through them as
let's
the
do
idea
one and
pops
one.
into your head.
Let's do a snake draft style here. All right, putter. There's only one putter for me. It's the Eclipse Envy. The what? The what?
I was going to go the PA3.
Not even close. Yeah, putter for me. Yeah, it's just going to be Eclipse Envy for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Luna. I'm
Yeah.
going Luna because I think as long as I'm walking in knowing that like this is the disc I'm doing this with.
Yeah.
Like I don't bag the Luna because when I have other options, it just doesn't. It goes like it does a lot of stuff really, really, really well, but it just doesn't do the thing enough that I don't feel. I feel like certain times she doesn't do the shot that I could do with another disc.
Okay. Yeah, and I think for me, the Envy, I'm looking at like long, short, technical, forehand, backhand. Like for a putter, I can throw the Envy really far, even the overstable one. Short, again, same. Technical, I feel like I can shape the Envy. I feel confident, like I know the flight really well, so I feel like I can at least give it a really good shot at being technical. And I can and will forehand my Eclipse Envy, and obviously throw it on backhand. So kind of fits all that criteria for me.
Yeah. Okay, if I'm going mid-range, this is going to be shocking. Like I'm just going to go ahead and say this.
Okay.
I'm going with the Warship.
Okay, did not expect you to say that at all.
I threw the Warship in a buzz battle recently on the channel,
good disc.
and let me tell you, the Warship got demolished. Like it lost. It's a best of 5 because we played 9 holes. It's like 9-hole match play, and I think that the Warship lost 5-1 or 1-5.
Dang.
Like the Warship only took a single hole, but that thing was magnificent. It was so fun to throw. I thought it was fantastic. So I'm going West Side Warship.
Okay. I think this is a tough one. I'm leaning into like overstability, and not because like I'm huge, but because like I feel like I can work a more overstable disc, like slightly overstable disc, more than I can like a really understable disc.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm probably going to say a hex though, for me, because I feel like I can hit lines with it. I feel like I can. I'm not really forehanded a ton. It doesn't feel great if I do it, but I can if I need to. And I feel like I can throw my hex both. I feel like I can throw it farther than any of my other mid ranges. So I've got to like, in my mind, I'm saying like I'm playing New London with this disc, so I got to like be along for the ride here, and I can hit lines with that. So
yeah,
I'm saying
hex is a great choice.
Hex. Fairway. I think everyone expects me to say FD here, but I'm not saying FD here.
Ooh, he's not doing it, guys.
No, I'm saying E-Dug here.
Okay.
I love the E-Dug. The E-Dug's just a more like, I do feel like I throw the E-Dug a little further, but I think it's because I know I can count on the stability of the E-Dug versus like my FDs. If I'm a little off, they're going to like do weird stuff on me. You saw in the pizza video, if you watched it, I threw it on, I don't know, what is it, hole 4? Like the tight gap one, the one that Silas threw the best shot of all time on.
Yeah.
I threw my FD well. I just put it on like too much, or no, it was on hole 2. I'm sorry, hole 2 where I threw my FD on. I was afraid for it to turn over into the woods on the right. I threw it on too much hyzer, and it went through that straight gap and then hyzered out. So I think my FDs are a little bit more like particular, and my E-Dug, I feel like again I have a little bit more stability to play with, so I can throw a little flex. I can give a little harder forehand. So I'm going to E-Dug for my fairway.
Yeah, I'm going Sagara.
Makes sense.
I think for the same reasons, like it has enough stability that it can shine and do what it needs to, but it also at the same time is like usable, and I can get some turn out of it, especially if you throw it flat. Even if you throw it on anhyzer, you're definitely getting turn out of it. So just a really phenomenal flyer. I stand by. I think the Sagara might be the disc of the year for me.
Yeah, I want to try it. I just haven't. I don't know, not any particular reason, just haven't.
Yeah,
but it feels great. So,
and it's coming out there. You can tell the Discraft's hyped on it because it's coming out. Not only is Discraft hype on it, it makes me think that their players are also hyped on it because of the fact that it's getting pushed in so many different plastics so fast.
Right.
I mean, it got the treatment way faster than I feel like the Cicada did in terms of new mold to multitude of plastics. Distance driver, I'm closing it out with a Wraith.
Yeah, makes sense.
Gotta have the Wraith.
After the pizza video, I feel like I should say Trail, but I think I'm going to say Grace.
Okay. I mean, probably flies like a slightly longer trail for you.
The Grace, yeah. It has, again. It's like I think it was like last episode maybe we talked about this, but talking about how like you like a similar type of flight in discs, like all the way up your bag.
Yeah.
If you know Envy, Hex is maybe the outlier there, but like Envy, Edu, Grace are all pretty similar like flight characteristics, just longer versions of each other. I think I just feel comfortable with that type of disc. Really, it suits my errors as well. It suits like my other skills or lack thereof. So I feel like that's why I like that. So I'm gonna go Grace specifically on this one.
I love it. TJ,
Now,
great question.
well, which one are you gonna shoot the best score with, Robbie?
I think to me, it depends on how many long shots there. You know what? I probably am shooting the best with my warship.
Okay, I'm shooting the best with my Hex. That's what was my pick, because it's going to force me to play placement golf, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to think I can make the shots that I'm going to like screw up on, and I'm going to shoot better for sure with a Hex.
Yeah, like I may end up with more birdie looks if I have the Sagara or the Wraith for sure, but putting with those feels awful. At least putting with a mid-range feels closer to normal.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm basing it.
And they're both neutral too, so
Yeah,
that makes
it's true.
sense.
It's true. Okay, Wyatt. This is funny because I was like, I was building next week's questions as well. And so you mentioned the rhythm a question or two ago, and I was like, there's a question about rhythms coming. It's this one
That's
from Wyatt. I have 2 rhythms currently, new rhythms, tend to fly just how I want as a Hyzer flip to stand up. After
Makes
3
sense.
months, though, they start to add a little turn after it stands up. What's a good disc I could beat into that desired flight?
I'll
So-
like a Hyzer flip to stand up.
Yeah, he just wants it to Hyzer flip and stand up. He doesn't want the turn.
C line FD.
I agree. I would agree. Like
Because
it's
gonna
gonna,
give you
it's
the
not gonna
glide.
start there.
Yeah.
but it will certainly get there.
Yeah, I think, because it's going to have a little overstability or a little stability to it at the beginning, but eventually you're going to be able to get it to just Hyzer flip and stand up. And I don't, unless you really, really abuse a C line FD, especially a new one, you're really not going to get to turn a ton, like unless you really, really abuse it. So, I think
Yeah.
that's my recommendation. I'm sure there's plenty of other recommendations out there too. But
Yeah, I'm gonna
that's-
throw out a Shadowfax by Prodigy.
Yeah,
Does that really well.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky slept on disc.
maybe a Z Passion.
A Passion could do it really well as well. A Passion is
Yes, I just recommended a Passion. Everyone clip
that's
that.
I'm shook right now. Shook.
I'm
at
coming
that.
around. I'm coming around to it, guys. I'm coming around. I'm not going to throw it because I don't like how it feels, but I've always acknowledged how good the disc is.
Yeah. I'll tell you another disc that I think a lot of people, a Stag could get there. I know the Stag could be real good.
Oh, yeah.
But another one that I think is you're going to have to put in a little more effort for it, but finding the right run of Explorers.
Yeah, great
The
disc.
Explorer is real good. Jesse
good.
from Trash Panda, that is one of his favorite molds of all time, is the Explorer. Because
Yeah.
it just does a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Thomas, talking about taking his wife out to play, I believe it was wife or girlfriend. I for some reason deleted the first part of this, but he says that at first she hated going out with him because she only throws 100 to 125 feet. So he put her score as hippie golf to create a score equalizer. Now you may be confused what hippie golf is, but thankfully everyone He gave a definition.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Hippie golf was a term told to me. Basically, if you hit metal, it counts as a make.
Okay.
So when you're going to the basket, you just have to touch chains, hit the pole, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Since then, her scores have improved, and she's even getting throws out a little further and even made several legit birdies. I'm guessing that means when he says legit birdies, that they landed in the basket. Okay. Am I slowing her improvement playing this way, or is this great to keep her spirits up? Thoughts. Side note, I know she's capable of throwing further, but she refuses my help to learn. She just wants to figure it out herself. So I want to start here, Thomas, by saying the fact that you have a new player playing, male or female, awesome.
Yeah.
Like, we're here for that. And whatever you can do to keep their spirits up, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter if they want to improve if it's not fun. They're just not going to do it because they're not going to get paid. I don't imagine that you're like that she is going on the pro tour anytime soon. So you got to keep it interesting. Like, I have 2 students that are kids who it is a major focus point for me in every lesson to keep it light and fun. But I know that at least one of them has aspirations of going on the tour. They want to be the next Cadence Burge. Like, and when I say the next Cadence Burge, I mean literally like cadences are going to rise into her prime and they want to be the next storyline.
Got it.
So when I'm working with her, she and I have a different lesson structure because we're pushing for professionalism, but also we have to keep it fun and interesting because she's a kid. So if she's not enjoying it. So yeah, I don't think that the hippie golf is like throwing anything off. Is it halting their putting?
Maybe.
Probably. But let's be honest. There are people that have been playing for a lot longer and throw a lot further that also wish they could be playing hippie golf because they've been trying to play normal golf and their putting is also still a struggle.
Yeah. Some of them even won world titles. So I said
that's true. 0% circle one putting can win you a world title.
Yeah, I think my thoughts are the same. The fact that she's out playing with you is a win. Your kids are playing, your wife, your family, your cousins, your buddies, whatever. I think always a win. It's with my rant at the beginning of this, it's disc golf. It's not that serious. Like, it's fun, guys. Like, it's a game. We're supposed to be having fun. I will say that to Robbie, like, again, if she is trying to get better, I think maybe if she's throwing further now and she's getting actual legit birdies, like, maybe just try a round where you can just play like normal. Maybe don't even, I'm a big scorekeeper guy, so hear me out, but maybe just don't even worry about the score. Maybe just go out and play. Who cares? And just because, I mean, my wife could not throw a frisbee, like not just a disc or frisbee, anything. She's not particularly athletic. And we started playing and throwing in the yard, and she would take a disc out, and I'd let her use a disc of mine, or the boys would, my sons, and she would throw like one hole. She'd throw off the tee, or maybe she would just throw a putt in for 50 feet, and then maybe she'd do it 3 or 4 holes later, and then eventually she's like, oh, I'll try to play around with you. She threw one disc for a very long time, and she wasn't throwing very far. Now she has like a 250-foot forehand. So it's like, however you just get out and do it, just have fun. Yeah. It just doesn't matter. And then like, the putting thing, and that might be if she's like enjoying it and like wants to get better and figure it out herself, and maybe like if you'll have the ability to, or the space, or any of the combination, maybe grab a cheap practice basket or a foldable one or cheap one off Amazon or something and practice at home. Make a putting game at home you play together. We play me and my boys and my wife made up this game. It may not be our game, but we call it Run It is the game we play. And what we do is it's almost like it's a point-based game. So like if there's 4 of us, I'll choose a position. We have one basket outside. We're using one basket in this scenario, but I'll pick a spot, kind of like a horse or something, and you have 5 discs and you throw it. And if you hit metal, it's 1 point. If you hit chains, it's 5 points. And if it goes in the basket, it's 10 points. and then we'll
Okay.
alternate choosing locations, and then we will say, okay, we're going to go through the order 2 times or 5 times, and whoever has the highest score at the end wins. So maybe that's something you can experiment, because again, it's kind of the same process, I guess, but maybe
Yeah.
you can focus on like making those a little bit more and then grow that way. So that's just a fun alternative thing you can maybe do.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like playing games and making it interesting. Trying some best shot rounds where if you wanna make it
that's
so
cool.
that she has to putt, like you play doubles. Can we shoot a course
Yeah.
record? And here's what we'll do. If we shoot a course record and you make 5 putts today, like we'll go to the store and buy you a book, or we'll go to the store and get a whatever. Like, I think those are fun. Queen City Disc Golf, shout out to them. They have a really fun setup, and Amy is on the channel. I think she's a school teacher, and there was this like running thing they did all summer where she kept trying to win these challenges, and they're like, we're going to get a book. If you do this, we're going to go buy you a book, because she's ready to read. And like, it was an exciting thing when she finally got the book after multiple videos of attempting it. So yeah, I think adding in stuff like that. And then the last thing I'll say here, Thomas, is that your PS of, I know she's capable of throwing further, but she refuses my help to learn. I coach people for a living. It is literally my job. And my wife refuses to take any help from me whatsoever. In fact, one time we were playing with my older brother and his wife, and she took tips from my brother and not me. And I was like,
What? Yeah.
what are we doing? What? Huh? And she was like, what? He does it better. And I'm like, just factually incorrect, babe, but that's fine. That's fine. So as long as people are learning, I'm here for it. Whether she wants to learn from John or she wants to learn from me, I am here for it. I love it. I love watching people get better. I still stand by. I can't wait for someone to tell me a hobby that is more enjoyable the worse you are at it.
That's a very, very true statement.
Like, it's just not out there, I don't think. So Kevin asked, been playing for about a year now. I really struggle throwing putters. Been working on it a lot. Currently bag a fierce and a breaker. The breaker I can throw hard, and it's really straight with a stable finish. The fierce holds straight on a standstill, but turns when I throw hard. I've bagged a Kratos and Luna before. Luna is a liar, and just like the fierce for me, and the Kratos does not go far. Looking for that straight putter off the tee. So I agree, Luna is a liar if you were looking for an overstable putter.
Correct.
Criminal flight numbers.
Yeah.
But fierce and a breaker. So breaker is, if he throws it hard, is really straight with a stable finish. Yeah. The breaker, before it existed with like a zone SS, is always how I felt the breaker was supposed to be. So he's looking for a straight putter off the tee. I've got a couple options. Brad, what are your thoughts?
I think I have. Wow, the breaker is really overstable.
Yeah.
3-3-0-3.
It's not as stable as the numbers would imply, but it is overstable. It really is a zone SS.
Okay. So you've been playing for about a year and you're struggling throwing putters. So I would be, number one, I would be curious about like the rest of your game, how far you're throwing, like what your, like, what your distance is, what other discs are you bagging, what they fly like for you, because I think there's some like information I need below the surface here, Robbie. So maybe I'm like reading below, but I feel like we're going to give you a recommendation today, and I don't know that's going to be great for you because I feel like there's some other stuff going on here. But straight putter off the tee. Kevin, have you tried a glitch or like a spore? Again, if you've not been playing for super long, I don't know what your form's like. I don't know how far you're throwing, but I think the spore even would hold if you're giving a little ante or you're pulling through a little like off axis. I think the spore would be fine for you. It's going to fly really straight, like really straight. So that might be a good one for you. But an actual like putter, I'm probably going to say proxy is going to be like an electron proxy is going to be my best guess for that particular slot, because I don't really know any other one I really kind of trust to be that straight out the gate. And the proxy still might not be super straight very initially. I think it's hard to find like a throwing putter that's going to be like really straight off the gate, out the gate, without some sort of like wear and tear put on it. Because I think you're going to get into understable stuff like the Fierce. That's going to just turn automatically for you.
Yeah. And that's what he's got right now is he has the Fierce. He's got the breaker and the Fierce.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, so I don't think like you have to be careful going on like a quote unquote understable putter in my mind. Oh, inner core is probably a good one.
Inner core would be a great choice. That was one of mine.
So my true putter, inner core, or electron proxy specifically.
Yeah. So I like the proxy. Proxy was also on my list. I think inner core for sure.
Sorry.
Two more that I can think of.
Yep.
The Pure.
Yep.
By Latitude.
And
really phenomenal.
PA5 was my other one that I forgot.
Yeah, the PA5. I think the PA5 is going to be really close to your Fierce, but it might be a click up in stability. So the PA5 could be perfect. I have rarely met someone who's thrown the PA5 and not loved it. Like my Birdie Fam community, the Patreon community I run, the PA5 is our love language. Like I would be shocked if Takeover next year we aren't putting PA5s in the players pack. I'll just go ahead and tell you that because it is people love it that much. It's such a good flyer. It does a lot of cool stuff. I think the Shaman is another one that I think the Shaman, when you watch how the Shaman gets described in some Foundation videos, you have to watch how the Shaman's thrown, not how it gets described.
Right.
Because I look at Hunter threw a Shaman in the pizza video that you can go watch. It's hole four's approach. He throws a Shaman, and I think in his mind he thought it was going to turn basically the whole time.
Yeah.
And it just holds laser straight.
Yeah.
Not where he wanted it to go, but it held laser straight to that point of where he threw it. And I think that's where the Shaman, that's what like the Shaman does.
That's true. I always forget about the Shaman because in my mind it's a mid-range, and it's not.
Yeah.
But like it's because it goes so far. I think that's why I think that. And like it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel like a putter feels like your generic putter. It's got that pretty flat profile. So that's a really good call. That is literally the inner core and the Shaman are in a specific class for me of like the straightest discs I've ever seen.
Yeah. They will, and that's why people don't like the inner core, is because it goes where you threw it. Yeah. Like it just doesn't have any autocorrect to it. So people are like, well, that disc is terrible. Man, whoa.
Calm down.
It's just telling us what we need to know. Okay, we got two more questions. One of them is fast. I think one of them also might be fast as well. So this one,
let's just speed run these last four, Robbie. Let's just speed run them.
Well, I was gonna let you and Jason kind of tackle. Spoiler alert: Jason's on next week, everybody. And the last two I think are really good questions for you and Jason.
That's true.
In fact, the last one from Kelly, I think is phenomenal. I'm looking forward to listening. Whenever you guys may not know this, but whenever I'm not on, I always go back and listen to the episodes because I feel ownership of this podcast, and I want to
respect.
I want to hear what all was talking. So, unknown. Oh, people, we got to go back and look at the questions because we never. We'll have to see because we did put out a call asking if people could name our mystery user.
Was that last episode?
It may have been last episode. It was last episode or a couple episodes before.
Okay. I'm looking. You can go ahead with the question.
With all the talk of people not ready for distance drivers, and you should throw the lowest speed to get to the hole. There are some days you're not feeling your top speed, and sometimes disking up from a mid to a fairway or fairway to a distance driver, you have to do that to reach the hole. But that's if the rest of your throw, like nose and launch, is still acceptable, just not your speed for the day. Makes sense. So you're just throwing slower that day, but you still have good metrics elsewhere. Or is it better to speak in absolutes to hit a majority, since the average disc golfer is in that 275 to 325 foot range?
First of all, only a Sith speaks in absolutes.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm glad that we're all on the same page of quotes. Is it better to speak in absolutes? I think from a coaching principle, it is any time that coaches are offering internet advice, you have to take it with a caveat, because we know that we have to speak in somewhat absolutes, but those absolutes are not absolute, if that makes any sense. Like, for instance, when I talk about how, I think this is a great beginner disc. The Diamond is a great beginner disc. Why? Because it's a lightweight, understable fairway driver that goes really far. It's designed to do that. There you go. What do I think is one of the best fairway drivers out there for beginners? The Diamond. Okay, check. If you're a person that has a natural and Hyzer release angle, the Diamond is a terrible starting disc for you, because it's just going to roll all the time. Yeah. So, but I'm going to say, yeah, I think that the Diamond is a fantastic beginner disc. Obviously, that's not true for everyone. So, when we're talking about like disking up or disking down based on what you're doing, yes, I do believe that most people should not disc up, because most of the time the speed increase you're going to get from going to the faster disc, even if your arm's feeling a little slower that day, just creates more wildly unpredictable feelings. So, yeah, if I'm off and I have to go, normally I throw a fairway driver to get there. Maybe I step up to a distance driver, but if I'm already feeling off slow speed wise, I might get a little help from the driver. But I'm also, just by your own admission here, random user, I'm not getting the disc up to speed, because even my nose angle's right, my launch angle's right. I'm not throwing it well. So I don't think it's, personally, I do not think it's worth the sacrifice. And an absolute stance, I would not recommend doing the disking up, just because often it's going to come at a sacrifice.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's always, like, if I'm having a round, like, again, casual golfer here, but if I'm having a round where I'm just not feeling like I can hit my distance drivers, I'm just disking down, because I know my error is smaller, which is basically what you said, Robbie. But, or even like, hey, but I can't throw my hex well today, so I'm just going to play, we call it old man golf, which is smart placement golf, right? But I'll play that game. Yeah, it's what I was looking through our comments. It wasn't from the last episode, but Rich says, "Why is Brad so anti MVP?" Like, Rich, I'm not anti MVP. MVP is my favorite disc of all time, bro.
Yeah,
I'm anti. Like, you're just getting my fear of like going back to an all one manufacturer section of my bag, because I come from like, I only bag Discraft for a long time. So like, I think you're hearing me be cautious about, because I could probably easily go all mid ranges MVP. My putters are basically all MVP. My throwing ones anyway. I could probably go all MVP if I really wanted to.
Yeah. So, especially with the trail being at the top end.
Right. And I already feel that being a great disc. I think it's just like, I'm just being cautious. I promise I don't have anything against MVP. I'm just like anti one manufacturer bag, unless you're being paid to be. That's probably what you're feeling more than anything. But I have one more announcement after we do this last one, Robbie.
Okay. Robert Eichler asks, when should I forehand instead of thumber?
Always. Next question.
I had to include it because, Robert, we appreciate you. Robert's probably one of our biggest question contributors, so I'm always grateful to throw him on. And in fact, I was chuckling because we answered the Worlds one last week or the week before, and we answered the Worlds prediction.
Yeah,
and immediately, like, I cleared that. We had no questions in the Pro Tour section. And then there's now a question in the Pro Tour section, and it's predictions for Tour Championships.
That's funny. We're just going to have a prediction section now.
So, Robert, I appreciate you. When should I forehand instead of thumber? I think that question should be reversed. When should I thumber instead of forehand?
Correct.
And I think that the thumber. When do we want a thumber? We want a thumber when we need sort of height to come in on the shot. When we need ground play, I think a thumber gets sneaky ground play that
Right.
people don't pay attention to. Like forehands can get ground play, but the right thumber shot can get silly ground play. And then also, I think thumbers are helpful for when you have to do like big patent pendings, but you don't have a ton of not patent pendings, but like stretching, like way out when you don't have a lot of room to swing the hand to get it to pop. Because you're using a thumber, you can get a lot more ka-chow off of the thumb spot. So I think it's a lot easier in that realm as well.
Yeah. I think to me, I'm using a thumber when my only option is above me, meaning like I threw into a bad spot. A lot of times it's when I can't actually physically throw forehand or backhand, like I'm restricted. So, and then if I don't have a line in front of me, I'm looking up. And if I see like a hole to try to hit above me, I'm trying to throw a thumber typically, or tomahawk, depending on which one. So I think it's like thumbers in my bag utility spot of my throws where I don't have any other option but up typically, or up or over something, or there's like a thin gap, like I'm in a bunch of tight trees that maybe my disc can't fit in horizontally but can fit in vertically, and then that'll give me my best shot of getting through.
I'm here for it. Well, that is going to wrap up questions. Brad, do you want to do announcement, or do you want to do what's new in the warehouse?
Announcement, then what's new in the warehouse.
Okay.
The In the Bag folks came out. We've now hit above 2,000 subs on YouTube, so thank you all so much for that. Love you all for that. Makes us feel awesome. Thanks for taking time to do that. And we did say we're going to do a giveaway at 2,000. So Robbie and I are going to talk. I just realized we hit over 2,000 right now, or I would have had this prepared. But Robbie and I will talk offline. But in order to, be eligible, that's not the word I want to use, but so for the giveaway, we just want to see you comment below this episode. First of all, thanks for hanging around for the whole episode, but comment below your favorite piece of advice that you've gotten from In the Bag. Wrong answers only, and we'll pick our favorite one, our favorite and most creative, and I want some lore here. So like,
how about I'm gonna pivot slightly here.
Do it.
Let's have them hold, and let's give them some time to ruminate on it. So that way we'll have Jason give his answer next week.
Ooh, fun.
And they'll comment on next week's episode. So we can drive some traffic to next week's episode.
Sounds
and
good.
That way I can read, and Brad will announce what the giveaway is on next week's episode, and then we'll pick one the week after that. How's that sound?
I like that idea much better.
That way, but we can't let Jason know about this question. I don't think Jason listens. I don't know if he listens to In the Bag every week or not.
Hey, we'll find out.
But
he does by proxy because he does sit beside me.
Yeah, but he can't hear what I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
So I think that's where we spring it on him next week, have him answer live, and then, or even better yet, spring it on him at the beginning when we announce the giveaway at the beginning, and then say, Jason, and by the way, you're going to answer this question at the end.
Ooh, yeah.
And just watch it, see what he comes up with throughout the episode. It'll be good. But Brad, not only is Jason in the warehouse, but we have new discs in the warehouse.
That we do. This week is one of those weeks that just got busy out of the blue. Well, not out of the blue, just everything kind of hit all at one time. And I mean, if I'm being real honest, I kind of forgot about one of the releases that was getting shipped to us. But let me turn around and read on my board here because there are a lot of things. We have the 20-year Nate Doss Avenger, not Avenger SS, Avenger, that dropped. We also have the Adam Hammis Confetti Soul Victory Edition and the Holland Hanley Confetti Raptor Victory Edition. So those are fun. We have a Fusion Swirl Sheriff. Robbie showed it on his Instagram Live, but We have the red split die escape and red split die MD3s. He might have one here to show you. Those are really fun. Those are coming from the factory that way. We didn't do this behind the scenes, but they came from the factory that way, which is really cool to see. I think sorry, people are most familiar with like this guy, like the Simon yellow, red. Yeah, Robbie has the ones from this week, but it's fun to see him bringing that back. So that's fun. They're releasing that. There's also a spin die harp, and then a spin die glow berg as well, coming from the factory that way. So, hey,
House of cool stuff.
Yeah, just trying to do that. We also are in the process. It won't all be up this week, but over the course of this week and next week, I restocked all of our Discmania. So all of your favorite Discmania molds, kind of like the PDs, PD2s, CD1s, FDs, FD1s, FD3s, MD1s, MD5s, MD3, like pretty much all of their normal lineup is now going to be back in stock in various plastics. There's also some sneaky cool ones that I was able to grab. Like I have some of the Discmania like mystery stones. Like there's like I think it's maybe Lux Vapor FD is in one of them. There's like a couple of the stones that are in there as well. They did last year in their mystery boxes, so I was able to grab a few of those as well. Only thing I forgot to order was spores, which I ordered yesterday, so we'll have those soon. Let's see, what did I forget? MVP, if you did a pre-order with us, the pre-orders will be shipped out this Friday, but also we have the retooled time-lapse in both the stock and special edition stamps. We have the St. Jude Shift. They do like a St. Jude fundraiser every year. Proceeds from those discs go to St. Jude. So, and Shift is a sneaky good disc as well. We have the Eagle Prism Resistor, which is...
Are these still available?
Yeah, that's our foundation stamped. That's a Glow Big Z Buzz. We also have UV Zones, Passion, Heat, and Zone OS all in that stamp available.
The UV Zones also different color glow than I was expecting.
Yeah, they're blue, right?
They're blue.
Yeah, they're blue. They're very cool. Escape Vanish from MVP, and then we have some stock stuff from MVP, like again, stuff we've been missing: hexes, envies, proxies, trails, like all the good stuff. Let's see. Oh, Mint is releasing the Lobster. Okay, Robbie, I don't know if you know this. I would have sent you one if they were in time. We just got them yesterday, I think. But did you see that picture I put in Slack of the lobsters? Royal Soft.
It looks fascinating. The stamp was hilarious.
Incredible feeling disc. So that's a good time. Also, the Idol is coming out, which is a new disc, and they're having some of their discs made with by Prodigy, and that's one of those. So they feel really great. They have them in a couple different plastics as well. So that's a good time. And then speaking of Prodigy, they have the FX, the DD, Ultra Soft PA1, which has a very cool Kraken stamp on it. And we discovered, I actually texted Will about this because we thought it was a mistake. There's a couple of them that have a hollow stamp on them that if you look in the hollow, it says genuine in it all the way down. And we thought, well, maybe that was a misstamp because they had something they had to do for NHL or whatever. So I texted Will and said, hey, is this on purpose or is this a mistake? And he's like, oh, no, this is on purpose. People thought that they didn't make this stamp anymore. So it was some sort of callback that I wasn't privy to, so I don't know. But maybe some of you have been playing for a while know that call out, but kind of cool. Looked pretty cool. And yeah, all the Salamander and Apex lightweight. It kind of feels like Fission. We have that as well. So a lot of hype stuff in the warehouse this week.
Yeah, dude, big week. And I'll tell you, I think we still have some Robbie C buzzes available.
Yes, just a few, but there are a few there.
Go check them out.
Yeah.
I've got a video that I recorded that is hyping it. My J. Millie Jimothy Jr. one died. It hit a tree really, really hard. And it does not fly like it was. And so, unfortunately, it's dead. But I was ready with my Robbie C one. So they're fantastic. They're Z buzzes, I think. Yeah, Z. Really great flyers. But you're going to find a disc out there because there's lots of great ones.
True.
You're going to watch people tear it up at Ledgestone this week, and they're going to be throwing discs in the water, and you're going to be like, ooh, I threw this disc in the water. I need to replace it. You're going to find that great disc. And when you find the great one and it's good,
keep it in the bag. We'll see you all next week.